Tomorrow at Madison Square Garden in New York, Aussie boxing champion Daniel Geale will take on Gennady Golovkin of Kazakhstan for the WBA middleweight world title. It's live on Main Event, and boxing expert Paul Upham joins me now to preview the fight. Paul, how are you?
Great to be here. It's Boxing Day for Australia. I'm so pumped for this fight. Nothing bigger for Australian boxing than Daniel Geale at Madison Square Garden.
Good. I always love it when you're excited. Is our man any chance?
Look, the rest of the world's writing him off. Gennady Golovkin is an awesome punching phenomenon. He's 29 wins, 26 knockouts. He's won his last 16 fights by knockout, and the rest of the world thinks he's going to knock Daniel Geale out. But I think this fight is much closer than that. Geale is an experienced professional, former world champion, and the best thing about Daniel Geale is the head on his shoulders, that he's such a thinker and he knows the sweet science of boxing, and that's what gives him a chance tomorrow.
Golovkin thinks this will be his biggest test.
Look, clearly it is. When I look through the record of Gennady Golovkin, he's knocked out a lot of average guys, he's beat some good guys, but I don't see anybody of the calibre of Daniel Geale from experience and also ability. Daniel Geale brings a lot of skill to the ring, he brings a lot of technical ability, and I think he's going to test Gennady Golovkin because he hasn't been 12 rounds before, he only went 10 rounds once before.
Well, Golovkin seems to think that he needs to knock him out for victory. Is that how you see this panning out?
Look, there's such this hype about knockout power of Golovkin, then sometimes the fighter gets swept away in it, thinking he has to win by knockout, but he doesn't have to win by knockout. Clearly, when you're a world champion, you have to fight a lot of different ways. Sometimes you've got to win ugly on points over the distance. Golovkin had a long amateur career. He won a silver medal at the 2004 Olympic Games. He's not just an out-and-out slugger. He's just not winging them. He's got great technical abilities as well. But he hasn't fought anybody with the skills, the defensive technique of Daniel Geale, who's always been a very good defensive fighter. It's very hard. He's constantly on the move. He's perpetual motion. So hard to tag Daniel Geale. And it'll be interesting for me to see, how does Golovkin handle a guy who's actually hitting him back? Daniel Geale's got to go to the body, and if early on in the fight you see Daniel Geale going to the body and putting those rounds in the bank early on to where Golovkin can get down, I think that's a very good sign for Geale.
I guess when you have a record that's 29-0 and 26 by knockout, unfortunately you do get the reputation as a knockout artist. But as you say, there are plenty more strings to the bow. Now, this is the headline act, and as you said at the top, this is a big moment for Australian boxing.
Not just for Daniel Geale, but for the middleweight picture. It's such an exciting division right now. We also have our other Australian, Sam Solomon, who has the IBF world title. The exciting Puerto Rican, Miguel Cotto, has the WBC world title. Sam Solomon's going to be there tomorrow. He wants the winner of Geale Golovkin. So if Geale were to win tomorrow, we'll have a unification bout there. If Golovkin wins tomorrow, we'll see Sam Solomon against Golovkin, because that's a big fight. But this fight is going to be seen around the world, hundreds of millions of people. It's live in America, it's live across Europe. It's a great opportunity for Geale, who lost his world title disappointingly in a close split decision fight to Darren Barker. It's an opportunity for him to get back on top by beating the guy who seems to be the most dangerous knockout person in the division. And I think it's just a great opportunity for Geale to show the world what he's got.
They have met before as well, before they joined the professional ranks.
They fought in 2001 in Osaka, Japan. Now, that was an amateur fight. Both of them sort of remember a little bit about it, but it was such a long time ago. They've both admitted it doesn't mean anything now. Golovkin won on points over 4 rounds, but that doesn't really mean anything now. It's so much more that Daniel Geale brings to the ring. He's so much more experienced. He's 33 years of age. He's had world titles. He lost the world title, and he wants to get back on top, and it's a very important fight for his career.
It's great to see Australians over in action over in the States, and we have another one in Blake Caparello on August 3rd. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's the following weekend, on the following Sunday in Atlantic City. Blake's going to be fighting for the WBA light heavyweight world title. He's a young Australian fighter, only 20 fights, never lost, 27 years of age, and he's promoted by Lou DiBella, the American promoter, and he's fighting the WBA light heavyweight champion, Sergey Kovalev, who's never lost before. That's another great opportunity for an Australian fighter to win a world title, and that's the following Sunday. So back-to-back Sundays on Main Event. Sports pubs and clubs, it's a great time for Australian boxing fans.
It's not long until we get to see the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world as well, back in action in Floyd Mayweather. It's always exciting times when we get an announcement. We know he's coming up.
September 13, Money Mayweather's having a rematch with Marcus Maidana, the Argentine. They had a close fight in May. Some people thought Mayweather was pushed a little bit. It was different for him. He won on points, and they're going to do it again, and it's a great opportunity at 37 years of age. Can he keep that undefeated record and pile in that more money? I think $70 million he got for his last fight.
I was about to say you wouldn't bet against him, but if you did, you'd do it with $10, not 20 million like he would do. Paul, thank you very much. Where can we catch the Geale fight? It's what we all want to know.
10:30 tomorrow. It's going to coverage main event and also Fox Sports Pub and Club. And I'm going to tell you now, I think Geale wins on points. I've got a good feeling about this fight. I'm very confident about Daniel Geale's ability.
There you go. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Paul. Appreciate talking as always.
Thanks, Ben.